This rich father could not make money fast enough to keep up with his children's endless spending, so he decided to teach them a lesson. One day, the three siblings suddenly panicked when they discovered that their bank cards had been frozen. A group of police officers arrived at their house and saw all the luxury cars parked outside. At that moment, their rich father walked out, quickly took his children away from the mansion, and led them into a getaway car he had prepared in advance. The children desperately asked what was happening. Their father told them that he had broken the law, all of his assets had been frozen, and they had to hide for the time being. After saying that, he took away all of their phones, threw them out of the car window. The children became even more frightened, but their father secretly smiled because everything was part of his plan. That night, they arrived at an old house in a neighboring city where they would hide for a while. However, the living conditions completely shocked three siblings. For dinner, they only had a few pieces of bread. The father seriously announced that starting today, the three siblings would have to do something they had never done before. They had to work. Early the next morning, their father woke them up, forced them to go out and look for jobs, but none of them wanted to work. The oldest son tried to borrow money from his wealthy friend. However, after hearing about his situation, the friend immediately cut ties with him. The daughter borrowed a stranger's phone, but she only used it to call her boyfriend. She was afraid he would leave her now that she had become poor. In the end, she used up a huge amount of money on the stranger's phone bill. The youngest son ran to a construction site and started stealing the workers' boxed lunches. By the end of the day, the two brothers returned home empty-handed, but the daughter came back carrying several designer bags and even took a private ride home. It turned out that she had sold her older brother's luxury watch. The oldest son immediately lost his temper. He said that now the whole family would have nothing to eat. Just then, their old butler arrived with the chauffeur and brought them some daily necessities. Before leaving, the chauffeur gave them a restaurant business card and recommended that the spoiled daughter work there as a waitress. Her first day at work ended terribly, but life had to continue. The daughter finally made a decision. She swallowed her pride and started her working life. The oldest son found a job as a driver by himself. The youngest son, however, chose to do absolutely nothing. After a difficult day of work, the oldest son and the daughter earned some money and bought their favorite food. But because the youngest son had refused to work, the others refused to share any food with him. The next day, he finally gave in. He agreed to help his father repair the old house in exchange for food. Although the youngest son knew nothing about repairs, he turned out to have a natural talent fixing things. He easily solved the problem with the hot water. However, the oldest son did not have an easy time. When he faced an uphill road, he did not have enough strength to make it up. The daughter's job was also not going smoothly. Not only did she have endless dishes to wash, but she also had to deal with difficult customers. After experiencing life from being rich children to ordinary people, the three siblings finally began to change their mindset. One day, during a casual conversation, their father discovered that his daughter had been suffering from anorexia. He also learned that his youngest son had once been sent to prison. His oldest son had even become seriously ill before and had been hospitalized for several weeks. Only then did the father realize how much he had missed over the years. He understood that he was responsible for his children's bad habits. After his wife passed away early, he wanted to give his children the best life possible. So he spent all his time making money and neglected taking care of them. The problems his children caused were not because they wanted a luxurious life. They were only trying to get their father's attention.